Okay, so today we're gonna talk about something a little different. Okay. First things first, thank you to those who've helped me and donated and being a good human being by listening to me with my workplace discrimination story. Those of you who took the time to watch the workplace discrimination video, thank you, and thank you to those who've donated. I've still been applying, working, and I'm working on like getting either a new job. But I had a couple offers and I'm still back and forth. Do I really want to work a 9 to 5 and do this thing all over again? No, I don't. I don't want to, like, here's how I view life. And then I'm going to jump into the story time real quick. I'm not going to dim my light for nobody. I didn't live my life in the shadows for over 20 years, okay? People pleasing, yada, yada, yada. But I'm not going to people please when it comes to my basic rights as a human. Discrimination. Come on now, get over it. Get over yourself. We are not in the 1950s no more. We're not in that area of, indecent, humane, social situations. And get over it. I know ancestral damage is real, but get over yourself. And may God be with you. And that's where I'm at. Other than that, crazy story time. Okay. This story, I lost my ring. I just haven't, my ring go. Okay, whatever. I just haven't had the capacity to talk about this story because it's crazy. This is gonna be a long video, okay? If you got time, okay, get some popcorn, get some wine or something because it's a crazy story. So let's go back to me being the age of 17. My crazy first love, interracial love story, whatever. I'm gonna tell you the story then, how it transpired, how I'm viewing it now, like 5 years since this happened, and where do I see myself dating in the future. It's crazy. So this whole thing, I've always had, like, I want to say Eurocentric, but I've always had like an open heart to different people, different cultures, different type of men. Because the men that I've seen growing up, unfortunately, they do suffer from a lot of psychological damage, and they refuse to take the personal steps in their personal development of living to get that in check. However, the guys that vetted me out did not look a single thing like me or the guys in my culture or my ethnic groups. They've always vetted me out, but time and time again, I used to just knock them down. First boy that ever liked me when I was probably like 8, he was Hispanic. Loved me. I don't know. His name's Derek. I don't know. There was another boy when I was 12 at church camp. He was Hispanic. He loved me. That boy loved me. He like, if I hurt, he hurt type of thing. It's crazy. But the first relationship I ever got in with a boy, like first kiss situation, it happened at a church group. Okay, when it comes to youth group and church and stuff, like, y'all know people only go there for one thing. So let's not sit here and pretend now, honey. We only go there for one thing. Not directly, but in this youth group, he was a mixed guy. But his father was a mixed man, half black, half white, and his mother was a white woman. So he was very fair. Very fair. That's the first time I had like an interracial, like I want to say serious because we were like 13. But like that was the first time I got involved with somebody outside of my race, okay? That ain't going too well. That boy was a Sagittarius asshole boy. Still hoeing. But, best of luck to him. That boy managed to date me and 2 other girls at the same time. But he was terrified of me. But either way, he was a cheater. Cool. And then after I dated him for a bit, it was never serious, never like on the level like of intimate, none of that. We just kissed. That was my first kiss guy. But after him, I dated this black guy. He was older, just manipulative. Like, honestly, the production of black men for us today is I've never had a good experience. I'm sorry. I'm not saying it's the end all be all just because of my experiences, but like due to the family structure and all these other external factors, they don't have the masculine capacity to own up to certain attributes that are not desirable to them to make them grow into becoming better men. So they rather terrorize to any girl that's willing to keep their legs open for that. So I'm like, when it comes to these guys, don't fuck them. Excuse my language, but like, don't fuck them. Don't fuck them. Because it's like, we as women, we are multipliers. We're going to keep creating and supplying all that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep multiplying the problem if we keep adding to it. So like, if you meet a guy that's like not acting right, withdraw yourself until he get that right. That's his responsibility to make sure he's straight. So I was dealing with this guy. I think I was 16, he was 19. Lied about his age, this is not. Just a loser. And once I got done with his ass, I'm like, you know what? I remember the day I was done with him, I just took everything and I left. He was just a loser. Just a loser. Okay? And I thought there was no hope. And then that's when I met Mr. Capricorn. It was another situation where he was 2 years older than me. So some time passed and I turned 17. And it wasn't until a little bit after that situation with that one dude that lied about his age. He was a black dude that lied about his age. Yeah, Mr. Capricorn came around. Let me tell you something. Here's how we met. So my high school, they had a post-secondary educational program where you got to leave in the middle of the school day, and they called it internship. I've been doing it for 2 years. I did it when I was 16, 17, and 18. So they allow you to go to those programs at like a technical college that's separate from your high school. Like there's a bus that takes you there. And then kids from other school or other teenagers from other schools in the district, we would all be in that sector to a degree for those classes. It was like PSEO or STEP. It was one of those two programs where it was free. All they offer you courses at this college to get certified and this and that. I think I got that's crazy. You know what's crazy? I think I got my first HACCP certification, the same certification I was requiring from my job that I walked away from. I think I got my first HACCP certification there when I was 17 or 8. No, I think I turned 18. I lied. I turned 18 at that job. I turned 18 when I got my HACCP certification because they told you in that program you can't get it unless you turn 18. And it's crazy how because you do have to renew that over some time. But I just thought that was insane to me how the world works. Anyways, I met my ex, my first, and I met him, and we're not together. We're not together, by the way. But I love this guy. I will forever love this guy. And despite all the adversities I'm about to talk about, because we're interracial. He was mixed, okay? Like I said, his father was a mixed man, very brown. Either he was light skinned or just a mixed man, and his mother was a white woman. So yeah, here's where we're at. His father's a mixed man, his mother was white. His skin complexion wasn't very fair like my first ex, but he was very gold. Let's just say this. And it's crazy because he's a Capricorn and all about wild of this, but his skin color was very gold. It wasn't like my palm, but somewhere in the mix of this, that's where his skin tone was at. He was a lighter guy, but obviously he had a bunch of what did they call it? Black dominated traits. Like he had a big old nose, he had really thick coarse hair, but however he was a suburban black boy, mixed boy. Okay, he was raised by his mother and stepmom. I was raised by both my two African immigrant parents. So here's how the story goes. Here's how I met him. We're gonna call him B. Okay, I met B, and we were coming back from a field trip, when I was 17, for the post-secondary education program. Mind you, this is a place where all those schools were intermingling for that last segment of the day. And we were coming off the bus. It was me and my homegirl Mari at the time. Oh my God, Mari's a Capricorn too. So it's crazy. I love Capricorns, by the way. I love Capricorns. So we came off the bus on the trip. We were just waiting. It was like an hour till the bus that took us back to school, our home schools, came. So we're just sitting here chatting, and out of nowhere, I just hear this deep old voice. It was like, "Hey, I saw you. I saw you coming up the bus. This and that. I just want to get to know you. Maybe we could change our numbers." I didn't even get a chance to look at. Like, I didn't even have a chance to process. And mind you, I was just coming off of like a little miniature teenage heartbreak from dealing with a loser. And then I just hear this big old deep old I just hear this big old deep voice. And mind you, he was 18, I was 16 at the time. But yeah, he was a senior. I was a junior, I believe. Yeah, I think I was a junior. Yeah, and yeah, I just heard this big old deep voice. And Mari was next to me. Mari was my homegirl. She looked at me like, "Oh, girl." I'm like, "What the hell?" And I looked at him like, "Oh, hi. My name is May. How you doing?" He's like, "Yeah, good." He's like, "I just saw you. Beautiful. And I just want to change number." Da, da, da. His voice so deep. And listen, let me tell you something. I was still virgin at the time. And it's crazy because, like, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 19. But, yeah, we didn't do none of that. Even when we was together, but we'll get to the story. And, you know, I'm just, like, hearing this deep voice coming from this teenager. He wasn't bad looking. He wasn't dressed. He was just, like, I never heard of this dude. I guess he was a rapper in his school. Everybody knew that. Like, he created that, you know, buzz for himself. For being known for doing music and rapping and stuff at his home school. Because mind you, we didn't go to the same home school, but we were in the same sector for that secondary educational program. So I'm like, sure, you can have my number, this and that, but I gotta get back to class. Because, boy, you gotta go put me on the spot like that. You're not gonna put me on the spot like that. And yeah, so I didn't think I texted him till like maybe a day or two later, because like I still had a lot to process. I think it was like in the middle of like doing finals and stuff like that. Just so much going on. Here's a little foreground background on me. I accepted early on in life that I don't mean I accepted, but I had in the back of my head early on in life that I don't have it made for me. So a relationship and what I've seen relationships to be growing up, I just couldn't take another disappointment. So I took a bit of time before I messaged him back. I think we just exchanged Snapchats before I messaged him back to see if I wanted to, you know, allow another guy in my life, this type of thing. Because during that time in life, I was in track. I was in a secondary educational program. I was in my senior program for DECA, which is a business marketing class for young people who want to be involved in business. I still had to work. I was working at McDonald's at that time before I got my internship at Boston Scientific. So I was like, my whole life, I had this negative notion that I just had to fight alone. And I still, you know, I still kind of battle with that. But it's like, I had in the back of my head, it's like, damn, my resources are really limited because I don't have it made like that. So I used to take on every single opportunity that my school offered for us to better myself. I put myself in track, and I did get a little scholarship because I was in track and the DECA program, and as well as a post-secondary educational program and an internship. I got a little scholarship of like $1,000 just to spend once I graduated high school. It was something versus nothing. I know this is like, you know, a lot of girls' story, but I'm gonna just tell mine. It's like, I didn't have a structured environment growing up because the family foundation I was born into was completely flawed and insufficient. Like, that survival mode versus being sustainable was non-existent. I was always in survival mode. I had zero sense of self-identity. All I knew was to survive. Work. Get yourself involved in almost every after-school program to avoid problems at home, avoid society pressures, avoid all situations. And I was only 16. But I knew that since I was a kid that life was never going to be easy. And I knew it was mostly tricks of the devil, where I felt like dealing with guys prior to dating B would be easy because that's all I knew how to deal with was garbage. Garbage. Seriously. I would just say it like that. It was just garbage. So the two guys I dated before BE, you know, I'm kind of glad that you guys fucked up. Excuse my language. And I'm kind of glad, despite me and BE not being together, okay, I'm kind of glad that he set the tone for every relationship that I get into as an adult woman. Because B was different. It's crazy because, like, me, I had nothing, making it something. Him, he had it made since the day he was born. Because his dad was a very successful professional trainer. He was a boxer. I think he's worked with, like, high caliber clientele. Like, his dad lived in the middle of the nowhere. Like, he had, like, one of those mansions that was hitting your face because of the trees. And mind you, I was only 16, 17 dating this boy. But he exposed me to a life that, you know, it's kind of hard to, like, it's kind of hard to not want to be with somebody like that. And despite, even though I get it, he's a nepo baby. The term is a nepo baby. Like, you come from people who have wealth or status, basically. So, with him, I didn't know about none of this stuff prior to dating him. I just thought he was just some regular little local joker that was rapping in the schools and this and that. So, yeah. When I decided to text him back, it was just friendly. He was so friendly. He was so sweet. I still love this guy to this day. Y'all don't even know how bad my heart hurts because, like, of how things ended. But it is what it is. So, here's how it went. It's crazy. I messaged him back. He's so sweet and adamant and this and that. I don't remember the first time when he got, I don't know if we just hung out. We started seeing each other more at that secondary educational program. It was called STEP. I started seeing him at STEP after he was in the work study program and I was in the culinary program at STEP. That's how I got my HACCP certification, okay, at 18. But we would cross paths. He would always try to sneak and find a way to see me. It was just a cute situation. But then I think he asked me to come over, and I was a little reluctant because I'm like, oh my god, here we go again. The boy asked me to come over to his house. I'm like, I'm so fucking over this. But because we seen each other every single day, almost every single day, because we seen each other for at least like a couple hours every single day because we're in that same program. But he was running the cafe for the program, and I was like in the culinary division. So we see each other every single day until one day, like, we were talking for a minute. He asked me to come over. I'm like, great, coming over to a boy's house. And at the time, I did a good job hiding the relationship because I didn't want my brothers in my business. Because my brothers, no offense to y'all, I have like 8 of them, and only a few of them are good quality ones. So the ones that I really cared to tell about, I told him about my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend. But the ones who ain't got shit going on, I'm like, dude, I don't really care if you find out. You find out, you don't. But I have such a preserved nature. Like, I like to preserve the good things for myself and not really overexude too much because, like, people always trying to ruin something. So what they don't know, they can't destroy. So I snuck over to his house. I think I got my first car a little bit after dating him, like 6 months after dating him. No, he didn't buy it, but like I was working at McDonald's while doing the like I told you, I had my hands full. Okay, I was working at McDonald's and my mom managed to stick up a little bit of money for me to get my first little red Pontiac, and I drove over. Either I drove over or he came and picked me up. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been 6 years. Either way, I went over to his house. This is his mom and stepdad's house, not his dad's, because his parents are separated, okay? But his mom remarried a white guy, and she's a white woman. So I went there. It was interesting. So I go over there. He's like, yeah, you can take your shoes off. Deep old voice. He's like 6 foot tall, probably, maybe 5'10". Mulatto. And He's like, yeah, you can take your shoes off. We can just hang out for a bit, watch a movie. I'm like, okay, cool. He didn't even try to touch me. He didn't try to touch me on my booty, none of that. He was a gentleman. He's a gentleman, okay? He tried to do nothing crazy. The first movie we watched was Get Rich or Die Trying, okay? And he loved 50 Cent. Now, the house, it was a I think it was about a 3-story house, and then it had a bunch of land in the back. It was someplace out of the way. It was out in the suburbs. Like, it was the outskirts of the suburbs. It wasn't in the city. It's the outskirts suburbs. So, like, I think those people either built their house from the ground up type of situation. So, yeah, it was 3 stories, but his dad's house was, like, massive compared to this. Either way, I went there. It was just new to me because I lived in an apartment my whole life. This was new to me, okay? And I think it's beautiful that I'm able to, like, reflect on the situation, because there was a lot of hurt in the separation between the two of us. But while we're watching the movie and stuff, he's like, oh, do you want popcorn? And this is that. He was just a sweetie. It really breaks my heart that we're still not together, but it is what it is. He's just a sweetie, just talking. He's like, yeah, we can get whatever you want. I'm like, ah! He's like, yeah, we get whatever you want. Just let me know. I'm like, I was like, hey, I just need a blanket because it was kind of cold. He was blasting the AC. And we watched the movie in the living room. It wasn't a private place. It was an open area. So his mom, stepdad, anybody could have walked in. I think he invited me over. It was definitely after school, one of those days. And yeah, and then we heard the door open and the mama walks in. This is the start of this stuff. And she's like, oh, babe, you have a friend. You know how they be super nice at first. Oh my goodness. She almost tripped. I think she did trip and fell when she met me. I'm like, oh, hi. She's like, hi. Oh my God, I didn't know you had a friend over. He's like, yeah, I just invited a friend over. She and I, we started kicking it a little bit. I'm like, yeah, Oh yeah. His mom was a substitute teacher, and she did piano on the side. I don't think she really had to do much to make a living, because, like, I think his stepdad was the breadwinner, and that was the first time I ever seen a man be a man. Isn't that crazy? Because obviously I have a couple of my brothers where they're so blessed in life because they took the task of least resistance, even though it wasn't easy, and they made themselves man. But understand, they gotta build a life for themselves, for their family, for their own future families and stuff like that. So it was very rare. Like, out of all my brothers, probably 3 of them I have good relationships with, because actually I lied, probably 4 of them, because they respect women, for one, and for 2, it's like they understand that women are multipliers, and you treat women good, it comes back twofold versus in the universe. But whatever. And they're my brothers, you know, they're not my dad. They're not responsible for me, but they did the best they could. And I think, like, seeing those attributes in my brother and my partner be at the time, it was a beautiful, like, transition into, like if B and I was still together, I'm sure that my brothers would be at ease knowing I'm in good hands, because with the resources and the capacity of what they did for me, and even still doing for me, that if another guy can do it, that means that they did good and protected me as their sister. So, and by the way, B's the only guy I've ever brought to my family, ever. Yeah, back to the story. She tripped down the stairs, because, like, when you walk up to the house door, they gotta, like, go up the stairs, and then you gotta go back downstairs to get to the living room. She tripped when she saw me. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, she was sweet. She's like, oh, I brought this bracelet. Do you want to check this out, me? She's a nice woman, but I think ultimately, you know, that psychological ancestral damage always resurfaced. So with B, we never really had no issues in our relationship, only until about after the year mark. That's when things really started to hit the fan. because B did everything he could to, one, meet me and see where I'm coming from, and for two, love me the best way that any guy has ever loved me. And I will just put it like that. Never ever once try to coerce me into doing anything. Everything was just on my type of time. Everything I did with him was just with ease. Everything I did with him was just like, either you want it or I don't want nothing to do with it. That's the type of energy he gave. He was so respectful. So with B, here's my thing, where the problem's starting to rise. He was a spoiled brat. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's beautiful that your parents able to give you all those resources, or you never had to really worry about a resource in your life because you had a sustained foundation in your family. My thing is, it wasn't yours, and you didn't really have your own identity as a man. And I get it. Ultimately, those things come later in life. I get it. Like, mind you, when we're dating, I was like, 16, 17, 18, because like we started dating in the fall. Actually, like, we didn't, I don't know. I think we made our relationship official in March of 2017. And then we broke up the summer of, I don't know. We dated for about a year and a half, damn it. Okay. Either way, we were young. It was young love at its finest. But yeah, the problem started arising when Brandon started like, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to drop his name. It was B. The problem that started kicking in, seriously, was like, he wanted to spend all this time with me and this and that, but you forgetting I still had to maintain what I had, which wasn't much. And I still had to prioritize my future because I didn't have a stable foundation like you. I didn't have no money set in the bank off to the side like you. I didn't. So when Brandon's mom started realizing he was more defiant towards her, that's when the retaliation started against me. Obviously, you know, like, Brandon would like invite me onto their boat trips and stuff, and to hang out whenever, and usually the stepdad had no problem with it. Invite me over to play Uno and this and that. The problem was Brandon wanted to spend way too much time with me, but then like he'd be snappy with his mom because of me and try to make it seem like I'm the one telling him to do that. And I'm telling him to do on anything, you know what I'm saying? Not at all. Everything he did was on his own free will. So like, we would hang out and stuff like that, even like kick it with my sister. When me and my sister was on the same page and stuff, he'd come over, spend the night, he would lie to his parents. I didn't tell him to do that. So here's when things started really going crazy. Because Brendan never worked. He only had the work study program. I don't even know if they got paid or not. I don't know if they got paid in credits or they got paid in money, because it was supposed to be deemed an internship. But I guess some internships were paid and non-paid. He was in that program, okay, gaining work experience, I guess. I don't know. I don't think he was getting paid then. I don't know if he was getting paid. Either way, he still was an avid person and very highly advocated towards the things that he wanted. He was really serious about his music stuff. I think he's still serious to this day, because his mama will support him. My thing was like, the retaliation started from his mom when he started being disrespectful towards her and trying to make it seem like I was the one doing that. No. The only reason why he's being disrespectful towards you is because you didn't show him or let him. You didn't raise him to be self-sufficient. You raised him to be codependent on your resources versus him building them for himself, to be a man for himself. You know what I'm saying? So like, when Brendan would sneak over and come see me and stuff, and didn't tell his parents about it, even though he was 18, I guess the parents was paying the phone bill, and they would shut off the phone so he wouldn't talk to me. Like, suspend his line from texting me and calling me. And that was like the first extremes, in my opinion. I ain't never had nobody pay my phone bill ever in my life. I've always been whatchamacallit. I've always had to like maximize whatever I had. I knew I was working. I was working at Boston Scientific when we were like probably in like halfway through our relationship, because like me working at McDonald's was just for me to get a car so I can venture out and see other things. But yeah, I still had to pay my own stuff. For majority of stuff, I had to pay for it, unless my mom got like a bonus at work and stuff like that. She would spoil me here and there and there. But more times than not, I was pretty self-sufficient, and I've had to have that in the back of my head, because I didn't have no other way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, my brother's here and there, but then again, they're young. They're still trying to figure out themselves while dating, and some of them, you know, they have kids. The kids just keep sending me all the time. They gotta feed their kids. So when I started realizing, like, here's where I started losing my interest in him. Despite the mom, I can't blame the mom. I was in a relationship with her son, not him. Like, I started growing frustrated with him, because, like, I get that you're a Nepo baby. You've never really had to see, you know, the unfortunate, undesirable parts about life, with having to really work hard and deal with a lot of adversity. But you need to understand this is causing a big drift in our relationship, because like your parents are the ones paying the bills for everything. I mean, he had allowances and stuff, like that's what he would use to take us on dates and stuff like that, and like give me little cute things. That's fine. But like overall, you're gonna have to learn how to navigate life with or without your parents, and he still couldn't get that grasp of that, because that's all he know. And that's fine. That's fair. It's fair. If that's all you know, that's fair. But I'm not saying that because I have any resentment or jealousy towards you, but I'm just saying, like, all I know is, like, it's going to be hard for us to be in a relationship together when they're controlling you. The thing is with, like, him is, like, his parents bought, like, they had a car already for him. It was just some Ford Explorer. They weren't, like, super affluent, but they were pretty modest in, like, the monetary things that they had for him. Like, they already had it set. He already had a car before he even had a license. So he would he used to take the car to come and see me without his license. And once he got his license and stuff like that, it's like, oh, he became unstoppable. Britta's crazy. I like it. But he's crazy. Either way, he's crazy. So here's the thing. When he started being more defiant towards his mom, the stepdad started to intervene, trying to make his, like, and put more information towards him. And I don't blame the stepdad. I do not blame the stepdad, because that's what you're supposed to do. If you disrespected my partner, this and that, and I'm the one, keeping things in check. That's not how it's gonna fly, and that's fair. But they're trying to make it seem like I'm the one being the reason. I get that I'm a factor here because I fell in love with your son, but I wasn't the one who raised your son. I wasn't the one who raised your son. And I get that you guys doing certain things to try to get him in check, fine. But it's like, the dude's already 18. Ain't it kind of too late for this? Because when we were seeing each other, okay, when he started acting the way he was acting, trying to get in contact with me and stuff like that, and his mom wasn't having it. It was mostly the mom that was the one pulling the strings in this relationship. When he wouldn't, like, respond to a text, she would assume that he's with me, and then she would turn off the phone for him to not to contact me. And I would just, like, because I had his phone number. Obviously, that was my boyfriend. I had his phone number, and I would just see random Snapchats of, like, missed calls, and I'd be like, babe, why are you texting me? Why are you Snapchatting me when you could just text me? He's like, oh, my parents turned off my phone, this and that, because, oh, we're hanging out too late, or yada, yada, yada. I'm like, dude, this is ridiculous. And I'm like, okay, well, are you okay? This is not, and yada, yada, yada. Fine. Everything will go back fine for about a week or two, and then there's the next thing. So the next crazy thing that happened, okay, was like, the mom will take the battery out the car so he wouldn't drive the car to come see me. She would take the battery out the car, put it in her car trunk, drive the car to work, so he would be stuck at home and he won't be able to see me. You think that stopped this boy? You think that thing stopped this boy? Loved me, okay? I know it's crazy. I know it's hard to admit, but your half black son loved me. He loved me because this boy, we lived about 30 minutes from each other, honestly. 30. He lived in the middle of nowhere and I lived in the suburb. This boy got his bike. I shit you not. He biked about an hour and a half to come and see me at my job. He wasn't gonna let that stop him. And when she found out about the bike situation, she was blowing up his phone. He's like, well, I don't care. I just wanted to see you, this and that. Like, are you okay? This and that. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, but she's gonna come here because I'm pretty sure she could track your phone at this point. He's like, I don't really care. I just wanted to see you. I want to see if you're okay, you're straight, and this and that. I'm like, baby, I'm fine. This and that. And like, this man really, like, you know, when we're young and stuff like that, it's like the fact is, if they wanted to, he would. This boy biked probably at least an hour and a half to come and see me at work, all greased up and stuff like that, nasty ass McDonald's and stuff like that. This is before I had my car, by the way. But yeah, it was just one of those other factors. This is all because, like, I don't know, this is a control thing. And when she found out, she called her other son. It was her first son, because Brandon got two brothers. His dad got another kid outside of his mom, and he got another brother with his mom. It's just an interesting dynamic. But then the mom called her other son, Braden. And, yeah, I'm name drop. I don't care at this point. They pulled up to my job. In the car. In his car. In his car that she took the battery from. In his car that she took the battery from. To come take the bike. And Brandon didn't care. Brandon's like, I don't care. They can take that bike. I don't give a fuck. I'll still find a way to get home. I'm like, Brandon, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. You're crazy. So that was just like the start of many other problems. Then I had to sit and have a conversation with him. Like, listen, I understand where we're at and how we're like really, like, I love this boy. I'm like, if you really love me and this is that, you really gotta like build yourself and know yourself in order to be with me, because I have a lot of things I have to juggle and I can't juggle any more drama being with you. Like, you need to understand. I understand from the mom standpoint, but then again, it's like you kind of OD to a degree. But like, I understand from a mom standpoint, you want to keep your son in check from, you know, not being disrespectful. Of course, first thing you would do is blame the external factor, me. Okay, but I just noticed it was just a lot of other things that like conglomerated into the whole end of the relationship. Because like, even in the summertime, and then Brendan didn't have his license, she'd be the one driving. Okay, because she's just that obsessed with his life, like he, like, just, and she was an enabler to say the least. Like, Brendan has obviously done a lot of things for me that no other guy has done for me in my life. Like, he's always supported me. He came to my track meets and stuff, came to my ceremonies for my scholarship. He came and supported me like no other dude has in my entire life. Like, it's like, I understand, like, he had, like, a little allowance and stuff. He would buy me little cute things here, there, and there. And, like, I think the best thing we did was, like, go on the boat ride. It was the best thing we did. I'm not crying, I promise. It's just my makeup. But, like, even just us hanging out on the beach and stuff like that, when the mom came and pick us up, she used to look like so, like, she would look like this when she saw me kissing him and stuff like that on the beach and stuff. It was just crazy. Like, there was no type of pressure in this relationship. It felt like right until it wasn't. So here's how we broke up. Ultimately, we broke up because I got frustrated, feeling like I was fighting to be with my man. We broke up. Like, I'm seriously broke because I feel like I was fighting to be with my man. Like, I get it, because I'm like, I'm fighting for you to like have this strong sense of character to go after what you really want without being super codependent on your family, or at least sticking up for yourself as a man and not allowing these factors to happen. I think she was waiting for this to happen. She was waiting because Brendan refused to just allow us to break up. I'm gonna tell you, the breakup lasted like 3 months. He just couldn't let it go. Okay. and we never fucked. Sorry, and I'm trying to be like unclassy, but we never got to there because I just wanted to like be in a more solidified situation before I got intimate with somebody, and I still live by that to this day. But yeah, he just really wouldn't let it go. Like, he would like show it to my homeschool, now not the STEP program, trying to talk to me. He would show it to my job, try to talk to me. He showed it to my apartment, try to talk to me with my parents, this and that. It was just craziness. Like, I had to call the cops on this boy. Come on, listen, I don't want nothing to do with you, because like, seriously, you already know what it is. You already know like where I stand and where I want things to be. If we're going to ever, if you're watching this, you still know what it is. Like, to this day, like, you have to be a man for yourself in order to be with me, because like, I'm not going to be the one carrying the load of nobody else that refuses to self-evaluate and self-reflect and build themselves into the person they're supposed to be, with or without help. That's the whole point of individuality. You got to outgrow these things to become who you're supposed to be. So like, yeah, he used to show up to my sister's house trying to look for me. He showed up to the same beaches. He would like stalk my Snapchats. This boy used to hit up all my homegirls. This boy went through all my following list on Instagram and DM all the black girls, that because he knew I was into like BSU, like the Black Student Union Association. He went and hit up all the black girls, and they all that's the thing about my girls, they loyal. My mean team is loyal. They've been loyal to me since I was a teen. Okay, they all send me messages like, hey, your ex is texting me trying to get in contact with you, like, what's up, why don't you just talk to him? I'm like, girl, I want to put my business out there. Like, I don't want to put my business out there. I don't want to put my business out there, and I'm not going to explain myself. Like, I told him what it is. Why are you going around why are you going around everything besides the one thing I need you to do? Like, dude, you like let's not waste time. Like, put your time and energy towards being sufficient so we can actually be together. That's it. This boy try to get with another girl, try to get me jealous. I don't get jealous for nothing, because I know what the main source of issues are, and I'd rather just go straight for it than to go around it. Like, and that's the thing. He kept going around the issue, making the issue bigger than what it had to be, to the point where it's like the apartment building I was living at, where I grew up for a little bit. They had to get a restraining order on him because like he was violating, coming to the apartment, leaving all. Hey, listen, I like them gifts he left, but I couldn't take it because. Right. He showed up to the apartment. Tell me why this boy left some chicken wings from B-Dubs. Like a 30-count chicken wings, a mango habanero wings. You know, that's my favorite. He got it. They put a little bow on it. And my mom came for work one day. She's like, babe, your little friend got you a little something. I'm like, Mom! I'm like, put that there, give me a bomb in that. She's like, Mom. My mom is so delusional. She's so spicy. Like, she's like, oh, but the boy just want to apologize to you. You know, she's African and country as hell. She's like, the boy just want to tell you sorry, babe. Why you don't want to accept the gift from him? I'm like, no, Mom. Told when my brother came, he's like, well, I'm going to hell. I'm eating these wings. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get poisoned. He still ate the wing. Ain't nothing happened to it. I'm like, you crazy. This man crazy. Then he showed up with like all these pictures and stuff of us together kissing and stuff, like trying to make it seem like I'm throwing away our relationship. I'm not throwing away the relationship. I'm throwing away the BS. You think I don't love your ass? I do. I still love your crazy ass. Sorry. But like, I can't deal with the drama that comes with this relationship, knowing that I don't have much to fall back on. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he came to the apartment. He left like some perfume and stuff. It was like I said, when I tell you, when a guy wants you, he's gonna fight for you. And I think I'm grateful for the way things have gone, despite us not working out. Because if I didn't get a chance to experience a relationship like that, I don't know who would have set the tone for high quality experiences for me. You will forever be my first love, Brennan, and I'm never ever going to like take that away from our situation, despite all the adversity that came from it. And yes, I do feel like there's some psychological ancestral damage with some racism and colorism and shit like that, Because, like, I'm pretty sure if I was a white girl, there would have been no problem. Because your mom will always say stuff like, oh, don't get her pregnant. Or, make sure she's not with you for your money. And da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, girl. No. Let's not act like why you didn't get with his dad in the first place. For that money. Oh, okay. Okay. We can go there. But how my outlook is on relationship now is like, especially when it comes to interracial relationships, I'm never going to be opposed to that. I just feel like ultimately, knowing what I know and being through what I've been through with my experiences with men, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna put one race over this pedestal, but I know I'm open to dating outside my race because I love peace. I love being protected. I love being princess treatment mode, and I know like other races of men do that for me other than the ones that my own. So ultimately, you know, despite us not working out, you know what it is. You know, if you're watching it, you know what it is. You know where we should be. You know where you're supposed to be with yourself or to be with me. You're a Capricorn. He's a Capricorn, by the way. So you know what it is, and that's why I knew Capricorns is crazy as hell. Capricorn's crazy as hell. Don't let all that big daddy energy fool you, because they're crazy as hell because they do work their ass off for what they want. And because I know, me knowing him, his birthday is December 28th, and 28 is the number of money. I know you're gonna work your ass off to be exactly who you're supposed to be. And even though we're not together right now, you like, I kind of hope that he get this. I hope, like, I really hope he gets this video. Like, you keep working, keep becoming and developing yourself into the man you want to be, because all that extra drama and stuff that you keep accumulating versus going through your not dealing with your shadow side, it's just not worth it. What if you just work on yourself and become the person you want to be? We could try it again. But ultimately, with any man, right, that's watching this or whatever, from my experience with being in an interracial relationship, I've always had more respect, more love, and more caring. And I try not to let external factors get into that, because obviously my dad, he's racist. I just put it like that. He's racist because he's insecure, very insecure. So now, how I look at relationships, that I'm open to interracial relationships, I don't really care. There would be no more problems with racism, colorism, and texturism if we all just blended together. Then that alienates a lot of problems. And if there's only one race, the human race, what else y'all gonna start fighting about? Okay? So that's my take on my interracial relationship situations. And I don't really have no qualms about, first of all, be with who you want to be. Be with who you want to be with, and be with who wants to be with you, who brings out the best of you. It doesn't matter what color it is, but don't be oblivious and super fixed into seeing life on a one-way street where it's not that narrow. Like, there's other options, and sometimes because we're so like hyper fixated on wanting to have that childhood wounds and trying to like fix our childhood and building the family we wanted, it doesn't always go as planned. Maybe it's going to be with somebody who doesn't look like you, but if it gives you happiness and peace and prosperity, does it matter? I'm going to wrap up this video because I know this video was long. Make sure you smash subscribe if you haven't already, and check out MAEVUIM.com for any of the fun accolades, merch, consultations, whatever. I love you guys. Thanks for taking time to watch this video with me, but I gotta go. Bye.